this Blue Jays debut, and what a time for Marsborne to come alive in this kind of scenario. It'd be kind of crazy, I won't lie.
Yeah, definitely would be, right? Because I mean, that's where we were saying, Blue Jays are kind of sitting in that number one spot, looking to see how much more they can, find their victories and get themselves just being that number one seed. But not going to be much more of a guessing game. We're ready to go into this final matchup here today on this stream. Marsborne taking on the Blue Jays, and it looks like we're just going to see Blue Jays. They're just going to send it. They're just going to go for a full-on sprint. They ain't slowing down. They just want to see what they're going to be able to find. But look at Chop, able to find this opener. Now allowing even more USPs to find these connections through smokes. They're just finding all the kills in the world, and now just leaving it down to two lonely T's, making it just down to Freshie. The support player needs to come up clutch. Not going to happen.
Whew, well, right off to the races are Marsborne, collapsing onto that B bomb side. I was going to question Chop only finding one kill there. He expends way too much of his magazine on one player, but as soon as he does expend that mag, there are so many players to be right there to leap into his assistance. Wolfie finding one, lining up that car headshot angle, and then having a rotation instantly from the lower tons. Great work there from Marsborne to respond in kind as they did. And already on the back foot go the Blue Jays. They gotta charge up through middle here, try putting the hurt on some players, but that smoke is not good enough. That's actually a CT smoke, mind you. But Wolfie getting aggressive here. Snap not finding the mark. Finally nails one shot, but doesn't find a kill. Snap getting overrun, and he'll fall. These pistols do a little bit of damage, but overall, Marsborne will be very happy with the results, and the Blue Jays will get their guns out.
Yeah, this one's such a tough map to predict too, right? Like, you made the comment about, you look at things on paper, it really is just hard on a map like Dust2 because, I mean, both these teams haven't really had more good recent results, in past. So that's a hard thing to kind of, break through as well. But the fact that Marsborne can get themselves, a nice little bit of a boost here on the CT side, I mean, definitely going to be a nice, way for them to pat themselves for the second half. But how much more can they really do? And it looks like a whole heck of a lot more because they're just going to go for that B tunnel control. They're going to have a three-man crunch onto this. A little bit of utility to trade things back. And look at now, even Blue Jays. They're going to retreat on this plan, leaving the bomb on the outskirts of B, though. Very, very interesting. Looks like they might even try to do a bit of a mid-split to B. But Marsborne, they've given up the B site as well. So now they're going to put their attention right back into mid. They have a good read on this right now, Paladin.
Yeah, not too bad. And it's just so much unbridled aggression across this map. I mean, to have a ballsy call like that to clear out upper that early on in the game showcases that confidence. And now as the dust settles, Snav wants to re-clear this upper B tunnel straight into Minus, and he nails the headshot. Sick stuff there from Minus, and Minus will find another quick burst. Just completely exercises those upper tunnels. And sure, Wolf gets a lurk kill up in A, but he's been found out by Chop, and it's all onto Snav. All of his compatriots have fallen. And he's found out, I guess, I thought he saw Modem's shoulder, but Minus will close it out. Impactful triple kill from him. And off to the races. I mean, just straight gas being put into these rounds from Marsborne.
Yeah, I love the fact that we're seeing them getting really, really aggressive, right? I mean, the fact that just like, putting matters into their own hands. They're going to go for mid control. They're going to, crunch into the B holes. Like, they've done a really, really good job just putting a lot of question marks here for Blue Jays, making Snap's job a whole heck of a lot harder. So the fact that they're putting this much pressure early on in this game, it's going to be frustrating here for Blue Jays. They're going to have to dig very, very deep how to get out of this. Now they look like they're just going to try to swing out of middle, hope for the best. They're running into a full firing range, and Minus is just having a field day right now with a 6-1, leaving the last two T's split apart from each other. Wolf just banking to see if he's going to be able to get this plan down. Ain't going to happen, and now Slight all by himself in no man's land and pretty much just giving up his body here because he's got no hope in hell he's winning this. I don't know. He might get gifted a kill, but thankfully they rebound nicely.
Looking like my P250 out there. What's going on? All good. Marsborne still gets themselves that 4-0. And, I always consider Snav and, the team that he played with before and how when things got out of control, they weren't able to really battle back ever. It was very anti-boss, if you will. I'm very curious to see now that he's playing with a new core, how does that kind of leadership aspect develop for him? How can he lead these players that are a lot more calm, I would say, a lot more, I don't know, I guess zen would be a decent word to use for them. Guys who have been through a lot of situations, who have been through a lot of turmoil in their careers. Look at this. Early B play being called out from spawn for Snav. Flash in through, door smoke up, straight at Chop, and he gets annihilated. That's a save call straight away. And Marsborne will have to give up their first off the back of just one kill.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the B site, right? I mean, it's one of those difficult sites to retake on. So honestly, Marsborne just going for the full save on this, not even a bad move at all. Chop trying his best. He was able to get some good damage against Snav, but just wasn't enough. And I mean, in that kind of a position, you're really kind of playing that like maybe one and done. Maybe you might be able to find that double. Like I don't feel like you always get to see like big highlight reels in a position like car or closet, but. Nonetheless, I mean, Blue Jays finding themselves a first round, a much needed one that's been, very hungry for. And all it comes down to is just a simple execution of that B site. It really wasn't anything, overly, complicated. And that's kind of something we've always talked about with even some of the previous games that we commentated on.
Let's see. Marsborne. Okay, now guns out. And saving 4 like that is a good idea. Especially when you consider how difficult it is to retake that B-bomb site. Something faster being considered here from Fruit Cup. Trying to smoke out a molly. But nothing comes, nobody swings, and Fruit Cup can't even take the shot. So we'll drop it back to Slight. We'll slow down the round again. Plan A doesn't work. What's plan B for Blue Jays? Bit of a lurk smoke there.
Yeah, this is nice. Good molly though, just to slow things down just in case. Marsborne in a bit of an interesting setup because again, you got that player at minus just kind of on the outskirts of mid. Now Chop, abandoning the B site. And Blue Jays looking like they're going to go for this, 3-2 split onto the B site. Bomb still on the outskirts of B tunnel. And now things have changed up. Marsborne have actually changed up their composition. Double player is going to be turtle up in the B site. So this is a big change now. This could be good because Blue Jays might not expect this early on. 44 seconds, though. They have to get a play moving here. Chop just gets the information. Luckily, his life's going to be intact. And look at Minus. How does he get away with that? How does he find a double kill? Just a dry swing like that. Now leaving it for Chop just to burn the time as much as possible. And he's going to get gifted another kill. Slight on a 1-on-4 with the ult. Not a hope in hell you're finding that one, son. And there we go. Marsborne again find themselves a convincing round.
I mean, that round should be Blue Jays every day of the week. I mean, you've got a B split on the cards. No short control, no mid control for the CTs. It's just those two players stuck in some real quicksand at that point over there on B. And yet somehow Minus finds a double and Chop finds a triple at the end of the round. I mean, talk about working off of each other. And so far, the chemistry, the power of this rifle core that I've hyped up on the Blue Jay side has completely been stifled. The shoe is quite firmly in the other foot. I mean, just look at the confidence from some of these players, man. Going for this cat boost now. Disassembling, reassembling. I mean, there's just a lot of faith in these defensive players to find answers for you, even if they've been out-strategized.
Yeah, that's no question at all. I feel like, for Marsborne, just winning a lot of the, the first map, the first best of one is really just made them play even better. Just like you said, a boost of confidence, and even Wolfie finding himself really good connections with the op. Oh, this is awkward, the positioning, but Grizz thankfully can get himself a little bit more in a fighting form. So now Blue Jays kind of looking like they're unsure what they want to do, but they have to commit to this with 50 seconds remaining. Freshie going to lead the charge, going to get blind. And now Wolf is going to be able to find himself that double and long. So now they've been able to secure this. But Marsborne, big question. Do they want to go for this? They have the utility available. They can pop open the smoke and they will, but the players have already crossed. It's a little too late. Bomb's going to go down. The CTs looking like they're going to retreat this plan. They were hoping to find a quick kill, and maybe they would have went for it. But Blue Jays, they're going to get on the brink of Wolf, able to find that double.
Yeah, you can kind of battle your way out individually a couple of times, but eventually there'll be a strategy there where you just have to kind of put your hands up and say, you got me. And those are one of those rounds. Perfect A split there. So much short control taken by the T side. And yes, they take some severe damage, but they have sold so much attention that when they're being caught in transition trying to pick up the pieces at long, it's already too late. Players have crossed over, and I mean, you can see those X's, those blue X's on the long side. They're in the middle of no man's land. They have nowhere to go. They don't have any cover. They've just got to stand and deliver between two angles, and they can't turn around fast enough. So great work there from the Blue Jays in terms of sticking to your strategy, having an answer in place, and believing in your leader, even when things haven't been initially going to plan. Because right now, their leader is calling the right calls. They're out strategizing very well. They've just got to have these individuals come alive. And of course, it's better late than never, but still a bit of a road to climb back into this game.
Yeah, it just feels like right now Blue Jays are kind of looking a little deflated. Like nothing has really been like a convincing round, like you were talking about. Is the fact that, like, you can make some individual plays to get around here or there, sure, but that can't be the only, recipe you're going to work on, right? So now the smokes are going to get thrown. They might even just commit to this. Grizz is going to be able to find this kill. No, he will not. I was thinking he had that dead to rights. Fruit Cup is going to get away with it. Making it across. He's not going to be able to spot them. And, oh, man, I thought maybe he was going to hit that shot. So now things are getting a little bit stunted just with the mollies getting thrown everywhere. Now Freshie looking to lurk as much as possible. A big swing here from the CT side. They're in a prime position right now, Paladin. The bomb's still not even down here with 55 seconds. They're just looking for gunfights. They're still just trying to see what they can work with. And their utility is down to a flash, nade, and an HE, and a smoke. There's not much here to work with. 40 seconds remaining. The CT's just waiting for that plant. This is an awkward round. It's very strange. Chop just on the back skirts of elevator. Double players in sight, and look at that. A blink of an eye. This thing is just turned around once again, leaving it to snap the IGL. Another clutch scenario, but not meant to be. And a sixth round is going to be gained very convincingly here from Marsborne.
Hey, they just took too long to get the bomb down. I mean, yes, there's some chaining of utility, but there was a good 30 to 35 seconds there where there was nothing going on. And I think they were just so terrified that Wolfie had reclaimed the line on short side that they couldn't risk a plant. But I mean, it was all smoke and mirrors. They were not dealing with short press. They were giving the plant. And eventually, I mean, Wolfie realizes, hey, if they're not going to put the C4 to dirt, we can toss in a molly, we can stall this thing out. And you saw how powerful it was. It allowed for the long flank to come in pretty swiftly. And then the elevator player gets in a position, and then, that after that, it's just very simple retake in that position. Chop is always going to find his impact, and everything slides into place there for Marsborne. More impact from Chop, mind you. 126 ADR, 11-3 from your B anchor. Talk about just a complete turnaround from this guy. I'm just so happy to see this kind of improvement with this full strength lineup.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, I'm so glad to see that he's still maintaining that form from, map one, where he's getting a lot of impact. Yeah, exactly, right? And that's exactly what I was going to say. It's not even a one-off at all. The fact that he's been able to transition this here for, Dust2, it just seems like everything's, he's been able to really figure things out. Nice little bit of a taparino here from Freshie. Oh my God, Grizz, how does he get away with that double kill? They're just grouped up. They're holding hands. And now Slight, he does get himself a little bit of a kill. That might be enough of an opening here into the B site, but look at the bomb. The bomb's going to be in middle now. The CT's going for the hardest rotate. Slight's able to find another connection, but why are they swinging in mid? Oh no, and Modem's able to find himself a free kill. This is still an open round here with the 2-2. Smoke going to be able to block off this doorway. But again, the CTs, they have a molly to stop things off. They have a smoke as well for the retake. This is not out of the realm here for Marsborne. But Blue Jays, with plenty of time on the clock, still waiting things out. They're not going to go for the quick plant on this. They want to see if the CTs are going to swing this. But this is, again, a deja vu from what we saw before. This is crazy. Nothing has changed from the previous round of round 8 to this. It's just a different site. And now Modem, waiting for his timing to go for the swing on this. The smoke's going to block things off. Might try to utilize the smoke to his favor. Oh, they're not even looking at him. They're not even paying attention to him, and he gets away with an easy kill. How does that happen?
I mean, that is just a sick round there from Marsborne. They throw in the doors, or the tunnel smoke, and that just suggests, like, okay, it's both players coming in from CT. There's no way that there could be that late of a tunnel smoke. And Snap is still watching it. He's still aware of it. And as the smoke fades, the presence of mind for Modem, the unkillable on Dust2 here, finds that last-ditch effort through and knocks out Slight, gives the chance for the second player to swing out from doors. That's beautiful stuff from Marsborne. Now they're winning the mid to late rounds as well. Even when things kind of fall out of favor in that early round situation. This is a Marsborne team that is dangerous, that is well equipped to handle what the Blue Jays are throwing at them. And when you're in such a deficit, how do you battle back if you're the Blue Jays? Maybe Warden has some sort of answer, but for right now, they've got to rely upon a prayer and the hero Galil in Wolf's hands.
Yeah, if there's anybody that's going to be able to whisper, you know, the right things here, it definitely is someone like Warden with a vast amount of experience. But is it going to be enough? Is it going to boost, you know, Blue Jays to find a second wind on this? Because, I mean, again, these rounds have really just not looked convincing at all. Every single scenario feels like it's a lot of overthinking, and they just don't really know what to do in these kind of scenarios, which just seems so unusual. And, like, even right now, they just go for a full swing through a smoke. They're going to be able to actually win this engagement somehow in some way, and that's going to be a B site. So now, this actually could be up for a round here for Blue Jays once again, because the CTs are nowhere near this, so they're just going to keep these guns. Snap might try to find something here. He's going to play around this smoke. Might be able to find the timing if he can. He might be able to get himself a 1 kill, but oh, he might have spotted them. He's not going to go for the shot. And now the T's, they're on a full hunt here, Paladin. They're not even committed to that bomb site. They're just wanting to get rid of these guns as fast as possible.
It's the only way to get back in this game, but there's oodles of cash for the defense. And, of course, this long setup is one of the harder ones to break apart in these late game scenarios. And they're not even going to bother swinging out for it. So, the Blue Jays get themselves that mid-B split that they've been looking for a couple of rounds. It's a bit ballsy to go through that utility, but Wolf's Galil does lead the way. And all of a sudden, Blue Jays have something to hang their hat on, but it's slim pickings at this point. They've got to find more in terms of kind of shifting this narrative back the other way, because it still feels like a meager win. It doesn't feel like a definite turning of the tide.
Full on control here now for Blue Jays. Nobody lurking around. Grizz is going to be the one that's, again, just posted up in connector right now. Blue Jays actually going to commit to this, though. This could be a bit of a ruse, but it looks like that might be the plan. Simplify things. Don't overcomplicate it. Take things as a unit. Now they're going to pull back just a little bit, waiting things out. So plenty of utility to re-execute into the site if need be. That's what we're going to see here with the connector smoke. Marsborne already ready with 3 players committed on this. You can already see the rotates are happening. Minus has already pushed himself through mid. He has so much information that no one is there. So now the utility is going to get thrown. Grizz in the top position. He's going to be able to find this one. Surely not. A second he does. What does he find? 3! He's a thief! And now you can see Blue Jays. It was looking okay. It was looking like maybe they were going to work with something, but no. Marsborne putting themselves at an 8-3.
Read like a book and torn to shreds are the Blue Jays. I mean, it's one thing to have all 5 players know exactly what's coming from the CT side, but it's another to just tear them apart. Grizz on that headshot angle, it's a dangerous one to get rid of, and he does such a spectacular job at holding that end of the map. Doesn't even have to call upon the second and third lines of defense. And now, Blue Jays are going to try to simplify it even further. I was going to say with the B rush, but they'll think against it. They'll instead punish the lower aggression, but that's not without some losses. MOTM takes out Snav to keep it into a 4v4.
Yeah, and Blue Jays just running out of options. Like, what do we even do? They're scratching their heads. They're actually just going to walk all the way back from lower B, out of the B tunnel. Oh, man. But look at Marsborne. You can see how active they are. They're already through mid. They've already now been... They're going to start to clear lower B. This is going to allow Modem to just get himself in a better position. He's still on the catwalk. This is the intel. Now they can go, okay, look. Nobody's here. This is, again, so much investigating that's happening right now. The fact that Marsborne are moving this much, this is perfect. This is a perfect CT side right now. Because they're going to read this, once again, like you said, reading the book. They're going to read the damn same book. They shredded it, now they put it back together, and they're reading the same one all over again.
Just to shred it once more, right? I mean, this is a wonderful CT side. Wolfie, or Grizz rather, should have a deep sightline, but he's playing off from short. MOTM will take the first bit of contact. Smoke up for Minus to stand and deliver, and he absolutely will. The flashes from Grizz are good, and Minus is having himself around. 1v3 in total now necessary for the Opera and Slight, and he's being encroached upon whether he knows it or not. Chop is right there, and Slight still axes one to the ground. But it's all she wrote. Chop will end the half with 13 kills. Marsborne with 9. We'll see you after the break.
Marsborne showing us a dominant first half with a 9-3, and now they're going to be switching things over to the T side. Blue Jays, let's see if they've had a couple minutes here with their coach to figure out what they need to do differently to getting themselves back in this game, or it might be all she wrote here, Paladin.
A wolf on the wolfie to start things off, and maybe that's that right foot that you're talking about. But they're going to need a whole lot more. 4v5 now for Wolfie to call from the grave. And they'll continue to encroach upon this catwalk. Beautiful shot from Minus. Now Snav's under fire, and Minus will double down. More impact here from the young stud. And they completely call a halt.
What's a fake?
It's. I mean, I don't even necessarily know if it is a fake. They can just freeze. They know that the rotation from the CT side has to come out. They drop into CT smoke. They'll send Minus to the Wolves once more. He spots another head, but doesn't take the shot. They've now realized this B bomb site is open for business, and Minus is not missing a beat. Another massive kill there from him. And now Freshy gets blindsided as well. It's all on the Wolf, the guy that made this round at least minutely possible, but it is all Minus subtracting his enemies one by one.
Yeah, now Wolf with, again, nothing really to work with. He's got that kit, but now he's getting flanked. Everybody's just going to be able to swing him, and yeah, this thing's over. And I love that round from Marsborne because you have Chop. He was just in the tunnel. He was just hugging the wall just to get any noise cue for the rotates. That's kind of when you see everybody just halt, right? That's when they get those double kills on the cat. Everybody just freezes because Chop's saying, look, I think they're already rotating. They're already overextending on this. So that's when you can see they were kind of debating, like, do we go for it at A or do we just kind of pull back at B? But yeah, again, the fact that Minus was able to find that double opener like that and Chop just kind of playing the information game, that was a chef's kiss of a pistol round if I've seen one.
Well, Blue Jays are going to try what Marsborne did to them, but they don't have the utility really. They don't have the weaponry either. And they're just going to have to try and make it work. A hard gamble coming out from the Blue Jays. 3 players leading over to A with the 4th in tow. And you know, it's a pretty strong read, to be fair. With a retake of long on the cards, but eventually going to walk into the Lion's Den and take a face full of lead. Root Cup is here, but he's at a rough one here, Laz. He'll hit the deck. Slight now up to bat, misses just that ledge, and sure he takes one down with him, but the damage is already done. It's a 4v2, and both Wolf and Snav have no idea the HP bars of these of the enemies on the other end that Marsborne have gotten themselves their 11th pretty much cleanly.
Yeah, pretty much cleanly indeed. Yeah, and I mean they just got to save these guns. So. But I'm just impressed. I mean, I'm in so much awe right now because Marsborne, I just can't believe the difference of what we're seeing with their full roster. I mean, I can't stress it enough because it felt, you know, when we first watched them, you know, it was really not looking that great. The results were kind of all over the place. A lot of maps that felt like they could have done better. They weren't, but they have just really reinvented themselves, playing some phenomenal Counter-Strike right now. And Blue Jays on the brink of actually, you know, I was thinking, looking at these 2 best of ones, I was like thinking this, you know, could be a 1-on-1 split, but I mean, even now, I mean, Blue Jays are on the brink of going 0-2, and I mean, yes, they're still in the #1 spot, but taking those losses like that, not even able to find a best of 1 win, it's gonna hurt, man. It's gonna cost you a little bit in the long game.
Yeah, and I mean, it would sour the taste of finally getting an organization's backing and having to put up a performance like this. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's one they'll have to stomach if this continues the way it is. And it's another force buy. I mean, I don't blame them. You're in such a dire hole that you just got to find anything to dig yourself out of it. And if you're Marsborne, you can call your own slow-paced game. You can really constrict the CTs, burn their utility, and really make them fight for every inch of this map. Look at that flash. Completely takes the upper off the angle. And they'll get themselves short control with ease. Do watch Fruit Cup here in the mid round though. Quick flank up and along. Has got a couple of backs turned.
Yeah, this is really good. But, oh, he just can't seem to find more than the one. I was thinking this might have been a good, but Snap actually gets caught with the mullet. He doesn't really matter. He still finds himself at least that one kill. But now you can see lower B going to be grabbed. Grizz actually gets a nice lurk kill onto A. So that's a free A site right now. Well, Wolf, he's kind of figuring out where do I go. Now he's going to put himself into mid. If he can find this kill against Modem, that's going to be the bomb dropped. Not going to happen. Modem just posted, waiting for him. And now we're on the map point here, the series point of this best of one. Marsborne with a 12-3. So now we would need to see 9 rounds in a row for Blue Jays to find themselves in overtime. But I just don't know if it's likely for just what we've seen so far.
I mean, no, they've rolled over already. They've been shot out of the sky, and Modem has only died twice, so that's not what you like to see if you're a Blue Jays fan. And it's just one last-ditch effort. Slight catches a body through the doors, and Fruit Cup tries to extend play just a little bit longer, but Wolfie is here. Cuts down his IGL counterpart, and yet again, if they want to call a long scale, they've got the utility and weaponry to do so. And I mean, Blue Jays already know what's going on. They've cleared out lower, so you really don't have any other option.
Yeah, they really don't. And for Blue Jays to be in this kind of a position where they've lost their IGL, so now Snap can kind of watch a little bit more closely of what's going on. And even now they're kind of repositioning themselves as well. Like they were grouping up towards A. Now they're kind of thinking, look, this might be a B hit. They might even try to crunch onto mid. Fruit Cup's already doing some investigating on Catwalk. Bomb has actually made its way all the way through T-spawn. So Freshie, he's holding a very tight angle. He needs this kill. I mean, thankfully Wolf's going to be in the site here to join, but I mean, Grizz will be able to get this duel. It's going to cost him a significant amount of HP. Chop's able to find another one. Oh, no. And look at the CTs here, Paladin. They're split apart. Slight, he's already exposed, so they know exactly where these guys are. They don't know exactly where Wolf could be, but they still got 26 seconds. And now they might even just try to re-aggress onto this A site. Slight has to stay alive. Like, him playing the smoke like this, I guess, is something, but not the weapon you want. And he doesn't even have the right pistol here to, you know, be able to help him out. Oh, God, he turned his back. He's turned his back. No! Oh, man, they should be able to get this bomb down. They got to get going, though. They have to plant it right now. And I think they're going to get it within that last second. And this could be all she wrote.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Jays completely pantsed in their debut here against Marsborne. Now that they are at full strength, they are a force to be reckoned with here at ESL Challenger League Season 49. And talk about competition. There is competition afoot at every corner. And yes, you've got organizational backing, but